Hey, I'm Jay Gregg, and on today's show, we're in Chesterfield, South Carolina. We're at Griffin Enterprises, and today we're going to be talking about safes, gun safes, and vaults. Stay tuned, it's all coming up on Carolina Outdoors. Joining me now is Mike Griffin from Griffin Enterprises. Mike, good to see you again, man.
You too.
I always enjoy coming up here because we always learn something every time we come. Tell us, what are we going to be doing today?
Well, we're going to burn a safe today. We've got a big stack of pallets back here we've been stacking up for about a year now.
Right. Tell us what exactly we're going to be burning up. Looks like you got some cash, or trying not to burn up. You got some watches, Swiss Movement, a flashlight, some DVDs. Are those real money orders?
Yes, those are American Express traveler's checks. Those are the real deal.
That's in your safe.
A lot of people would have that there, and they're, like I said, the real deal. We'll know exactly what the heat and smoke does to them.
Well, tell us how this is going to work.
Well, you notice we've kind of got doubles of everything here.
Right.
DVDs are one of the hardest things of all to protect. We want to put a DVD in the Century Firebox, which I don't sell these, but I tell everybody to buy this box. From what I've seen in fires in 20-something years, this is the best box to have your other paper and real susceptible. Well, I don't like to call it money. I tell everybody it's none of my business what their paper is,
right.
but it's paper.
Gotcha.
The paper goes in this box, and then we've got a letter here that's dating the time and all here. When we're doing this fire test, we're going to put one in the box, and the others will simply be sitting on the shelf in the safe.
Now, most everybody I know has firearms, and they're going to have shells in the safe or out. I mean, it could happen, but a lot of people put them in the safe. Tell us what's going to happen here. Have you seen what happens with bullets?
Now, everybody has ammunition in their safe. Brass ammo, I tell them this, with sheetrock line safes, if their house burns and they're there and they hear this brass ammunition cook off in the safe, there's nothing left in the safe.
It explodes.
When it does, it causes the safe to breathe. It blows air in and it sucks back in and puts more oxygen in the safe so it continues to burn. I have never opened a safe that I would say there was 10% of anything survived when the brass ammunition cooks off.
Well, you said something earlier. There's several different kind of safes. There's not fiberglass, a sheetrock line safe and a concrete safe. That's what you were saying, right?
Yes. I have never seen this ammo cook off in a concrete line safe. So this would be, in this box would be typical to any, typical box that bullets come in. We're going to leave this on the shelf and see what happens.
And we're going to be burning up one of your concrete
safes. It's one of my
right
concrete line safes, even though the factory rates them for 90 minutes, but the factory ratings should always be taken with a grain of salt.
Well, Mike, I love setting fires, and you've got the fire department out here, the Chesterfield Fire Department.
Yes, Chesterfield Fire Department. I wish to really thank them for showing up. They're helping us out with their camera that'll show us the thermal images, that's the key, is to know how hot the fire gets and how long it stays.
Okay, well, once again, those guys do a lot more than people realize, and it's a thankless job. So, guys with the fire department, police department, thank y'all so much for what y'all do. Well, Mike, let's get this stuff in the safe and set us a fire.
All right, well, we're ready.
All right, we're at our makeshift house now. Got the Griffin safe in here. Let's load it up.
All right. Well, one thing I'd like to mention, we had the high school actually built this inner box for us at their woodworking class. So thanks to the high school and
Chesterfield High.
Yes, Chesterfield High and John Hill too. Notice we've got books here, which would be typical of what people would have in their safe. Now here we just put 2 2x4s in here.
That could represent maybe a gun stop.
A gun stop.
Right.
A gun stop.
Yeah, I didn't want to burn up any guns today.
Well,
it's killing me you're going to burn this money. But hey,
no,
it may come out.
we're going to try not to.
All right, we got our stuff in the box, and you just going to set it in there anywhere?
We're just going to set this box on this shelf.
All right, and then we got our other stuff. We got our watches, our Swiss Movements.
All right, now here, we're going to wind these up. Which this is what the bank does every day, but just before closing time.
And that'd be my Rolex I had in my safe,
If I could afford one. My Timex maybe, but not my Rolex. All right, we need to set this on a stable shelf.
Okay.
There you go.
And then your mag light.
Our mag light, just anywhere will do for that.
CD.
Now this CD, we're going to lay, let's see here. We'll just lay it on top of the firebox.
All right, there's some of our money orders.
The money order, we're going to lay one on the top, American Express traveler's checks. And we'll lay the other one on the shelf here.
All right, here's our letter.
All right, we'll put that on the top shelf,
Ooh, the cash.
And the cash too will be on the top shelf.
All right, ammunition.
The ammunition, most safes in any fire, the top shelf is going to be the hottest. So we're going to put this ammunition on the top shelf.
Okay.
We want to really get a good indication of what it's really going to do in a fire.
What are those, 30-06 shells?
45, 70s, I think they were.
All right, and then this is, what is this?
Now this is an S&G mechanical lock. This has a thermal relocker in it. Now, the combination is already dialed in this lock. After this safe is opened after the fire, if we can push this lock bolt in, then the thermal relocker inside this back cover did not fire. I have no idea whether it'll fire or not, but we're going to find out.
And where would this be inside of the safe?
Well, actually, it's on the door.
Okay.
To me, a thermal relocker in a residential safe is an unneeded adaptation. In a sheetrock line safe, I've literally seen the whole lock melt off of the back of the safe when a house burns to the ground.
Real good metal.
Well, it's made out of Z-Mac, which is the same material they make most dials and handles out of. Real important is I really want to see if this thermal will fire.
Okay.
Now, it is designed to fire with very low temperature, so this is an iffy thing here. We'll know after the fire.
Let's get it in there. We've got all our stuff in there. We're going to shut the door and lock it.
Yes.
Guys, this isn't your typical safe. This is one Mike has designed, and everything in it is your design, right? For the most part.
99% of it.
Right. This isn't you got to come to you to get this safe in some of your other outlets, right?
Yes.
I mean, this isn't a safe you find at a big
box
store.
No
right?
mass merchants.
Right. All right. Well, I love burning stuff, so let's burn it up.
All right, we're ready.
Had a little change in plan right before we lit the fire. The Chesterfield Sheriff's Office has brought us some guns by that were scheduled to destroy, and we took the 2x4s out. And we're going to put some real guns in, and see if they make it or don't make it. And if they do make it, they're still going to be destroyed. So
right.
Let's put them in the safe. Mike's already took the 2x4s out.
Remember now, these are deactivated firearms. Now this one, wood stock and all, the blue one on the barrel, we want to see if it's damaged. It's been my experience that the worst damage when a house doesn't burn to the ground, comes from the smoke. That is the reason for the gun sock that this particular gun's in. We want to judge how the gun sock will protect the bluing from the smoke that's generated when a safe goes through a house fire. And we have one without the gun sock as well for comparison.
Man, that thing looked like it's already been through a fire.
It's had a rough life.
And then we got us a pistol.
Now this,
cheap.
we might mention that this is made out of pot metal to start with, so it's probably the same material that the dial ring would be made out of that melts off.
Looks like it.
Yeah, that melts off.
All right, and then just a little automatic 25. Put it up top.
Yep.
That's where mine are. Okay, let's close it up and light this baby up.
We're ready.
All right, we got the safe covered up. Simulate a house situation. Pour some kerosene on it so we can get the fire started. We're gonna light her up now. You ready?
That's it. We're ready.
I guess we ought to see. There we go. What's going to take so long is we're going to let it burn now, and it's going to take a while to burn. Then we got to let it cool down so we can get back in there and see if the stuff survived.
We've been burning for about 14 minutes. Center of the fire is still right about 1,500 degrees. Typical house fire temperatures.
I'd have never thought it would have got that hot just off of pallets, but I guess it would have, didn't it?
It's bumping over 2,000 degrees now.
And the safe's directly in the middle of the fire, which is right where we wanted it to be. In other words, that's the hottest part of the fire. It's not like fire testing a safe in a house when one end of the house burns and the other house don't.
That's more than a safe would ever get in a real house.
That's the way I look at it.
That's hotter than typical house. You're going to have 1,600 degrees in a room, but your fuel source for the fire is going to burn out. It's not going to keep going. There's not that much fuel in that
particular location.
Concentrated in that location. So that thing is being abused.
Lieutenant, actually you guys would be here or darn near on the way. and be adding water to it, wouldn't you? I mean,
Yeah,
y'all
but-
be putting water all over that baby right now.
Well, it depends on when the call came out. We have gotten calls for structures that the house was already in that shape by the time anybody noticed it. But normally, somebody's home, we get the call. Yes, that safe wouldn't even reach those temperatures.
And then here comes the water and
We'd
the
already
steam
be
and all on
putting it
the
out.
safe.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, the safe looks good and burned up to me. It fell over. Even the bottom of it that it was sitting on, the platform was burned. How long has it been in there?
Well, we've been on there an hour now, and it exceeded what any sheetrock line safe would have ever reached as far as their rating
Saying
goes.
1,300 degrees at one point.
I think
Or
that's the
almost
temperature of the
2,000.
safe. That the fire temperature was over 2,000.
Wow, unbelievable.
So this is definitely what we call a worst case scenario.
Right, this is if the fire department does not show up or nobody knows it's burning down.
That's it.
Well, the guys now, they're getting ready to hose it out and put it out, and it's going to be a little while to cool, so
It's going to be quite a while. We tell everybody after a house fire, whatever degree of fire they have, if the safe will not simply open up, that they should not try to open it. Of course, in this case, obviously, it's not going to dial open. What they
dial
need,
melted off.
what they need to do if the safe's laying door up like this is to shovel dirt over the edge and let the safe suffocate on out. I tell them when I sell a safe to call me while the thing's burning. We put you on our schedule. We'll be there 3 days later after the safe suffocates on out.
Well, I heard you telling one of the firefighters that you've drilled a hole in it before, and it didn't the inside get worse because of the oxygen?
That surprised
A few
me.
days later?
Now, in that case, nobody had tried to suffocate the safe out after the fire. It was laying doored up, and what little bit of ash was left. And we stood the safe up and drilled a hole in it to open it, and it started burning again on the
No
inside.
kid. Let's get this fire put out. That's what they're doing now. While we're waiting on the Chesterfield Fire Department to put our safe out to where we can get to it to open it up to see what the contents look like, did y'all realize that Mike Griffin, right here in Chesterfield, South Carolina, teaches classes to people from around the world? SAFTA had their annual conference in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina this year, and we had a chance to go talk to Mike and meet some of the folks at the SAFTA convention. Let's head down to Myrtle Beach right now while the safe's cooling and see what's happening down there. Joining me now is Joanne Mims. Miss Joanne, good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
What is your title here?
I am the convention manager for the Safe and Vault Technicians Association.
What exactly is SAFTA? SAFTA?
SAFTA. Well, we call it SAFTA. Again, it's the Safe and Vault Technicians. So they're a group of guys, some women from all over the world. It's an international association, and they come here to learn how to open safes different ways, not just big box residential safes, yeah, really, but also government type GSA containers, they call them.
The reason we're here is one of our great friends and sponsors, Mike Griffin. It amazes me that, being from Chesterfield, he's here teaching people from around the world.
Right, and we appreciate Mike so much. He's been an instructor for us for about 5 years, and he has the largest, most popular class, and so they really do want to hear what he has to say. So he's a great instructor.
Got a second, we grabbed one of the guys who were in Mike Griffin's class. What's your name? Where you from?
Mark Henley, originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Right, now who do you work for?
I work for Stanley Security Solutions. Was down in Florida for a number of years and just recently relocated back to Tennessee.
So you got to go back home.
Yes, finally got to come back home.
Hey, like being down at the beach.
I like it. It was nice. It was an experience.
You down for a whole week.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we 4 classes.
How'd you like Mike's class?
Very interesting. I've been in the safe and vault field for a while now. Do a lot of banks and drilled a few safes, and it's very interesting the aspect he has and the entry points going through the spindle hole and the tools he makes and all that.
Makes his own tools.
Makes his own
Isn't that
tools out of the wildest things, yeah.
He's right there in our hometown, or right near our hometown in Chesterfield.
Yeah.
Mike's a great guy. We think the world of him here. So
Very talented guy.
Woo-wee.
It's hot. Look at the steam coming out. Is that steam? Yeah, that's steam.
Wait a minute. I believe.
There it is.
Woo-wee.
It's hot. Look at the steam coming out. Is that steam? Yeah, that's steam. Got to remember the fire department poured a heap of water on it. Wow, look at there. That's better than I thought it was going to be, Mike.
We had to keep in mind that this was a lot hotter fire than the average house fire.
I'm going to tell you, that's a lot better than what I was expecting. Look where it melted the plastic on the lockbox. Wow, it didn't do near as bad as you'd think.
Well,
that's with the gun sock.
That's with the gun sock.
Now the forearm came off. Of course, this wasn't the greatest
That one was
firearm in the world.
yeah, that one, the forearm was already off of that one to start with.
Yeah.
And the barrel's still hot too. It just don't take me long to look at a gun. You see that the money didn't burn, but it's definitely damaged by the steam that the fire material puts in the safe. See, this could be returned to the bank.
That's right.
Well, actually, some people might even just try this out and still spend it.
And use it.
But you can return it,
And that was not
they
in the
will
box.
replace
We
it.
hadn't opened the box yet. It's too hot right now.
This was in the hottest part in the safe, which was on the top shelf where the bullets were, and they did not explode either. Now, I want to point out that this is not a gun safe. It's a burglar fire type safe, a concrete line safe that has burglar and fire
A
protection.
Griffin safe.
Right. This is my
your design.
concrete line safe. The reason for the concrete is to give you real fire protection.
Not a regular gun safe you buy.
But
Everything would have been ruined.
absolutely in this fire,
It would-
yes.
It would have never been saved like this has.
There would have been nothing saved. It would have been toast. It's been my experience after a house fire, when a house burns to the ground, that everything in the sheetrock line safe's in a pile of ash in the bottom.
Look where the CD melted.
See, now
It's
that
in a case
never got to the flash point, but it melted because of the temperature in the safe.
inside.
CDs are one of the hardest things of all to protect because they're so susceptible not only to the heat, but to the moisture that the fire material generates.
Here's the letter. This one was on the shelf. Sopping wet. You could probably still open it. Let's see. If I can do this without messing it up.
See, in a case like this, the information on the paper would have been saved, but the
could
paper,
scan it.
right, but the paper itself would not have survived.
Hey, that's not bad. I got it out a lot easier than I thought. And remember, this is not in the interior. Oh, there it went.
On the hottest shelf in the safe.
It's just damp from the moisture. Fire test. There you go.
Melted and warped up.
Now the money and all looks okay.
But the DVD here, which I didn't think would survive anyway in this hot a fire, you see it was nowhere near combustible, but the temperature got hot enough to melt it.
Melt it is the. You're right. That camera's still hot. Look at there. I bet you it may still play. I don't.
I'm
know.
going to try that, but I would be willing to bet it will not play.
Well, DVD. Then we got
Alright.
Traveler's
The
Chase.
Traveler's Chase. See, they would have survived. You can feel they're moist.
They're more. Well, not as bad as the ones that weren't in this
Oh no,
box.
but like I said, this information would have been saved.
And then your money. Just there. Now,
And this
I
was-
keep this. And then our letter.
And this is the worst possible case scenario.
The letter looks okay, but it ain't great.
Not perfect,
It's
no.
wet. It's wetter than those traveler's checks.
But as hot as this fire got, this box is not rated for that either. But this would have never survived had it not been in the concrete line safe.
Well, Mike, like I say, I always love coming up here to Chesterfield, and I love talking with you because I learned so much about safes. And I tell you guys at home, if you're looking for a safe, or even have a safe, you need to get you a good one. You need to come to Mike Griffin and get you a good Griffin safe if you're going to have any type of valuables. Mike, thank you for your time.
All right, we
Tell everybody
appreciate
at
it.
home how to get in touch with you.
Well, give us a call at 800-301-3562. That's Griffin Enterprises.
Mike, once again, thank you.
All right,
I
we
sure
appreciate it.
it. Till next week, get out and enjoy your Carolina outdoors.